All right, shalom, shalom. And first and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all honor and glory, infinite praise and worship to our power, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostle, elders, a great millstone, who we will teaching his own doctrine, strong shalom, to the hopeful elect, and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children. That the Lord will have mercy on these last days, man. Shalom. It's your brother Haqadash representing Jim as Branch in Cleveland, Lord willing, to bring out an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah, man. All right, the title of this lesson is All the Prophets Are Men of Israel. All right, all the prophets throughout the whole entire Bible are sons of Yahshua, sons of the power. They are princes of the power. If the prophets are princes of the power, and the prophets were given specific tasks and different duties to fulfill the will of the Lord, the will of the Lord here on earth, that would mean that whoever was whoever was supposed to hear this message being expressed at a high degree as it has been, or from generation to generation, will only have to come from the prophets to individuals who can hear the prophets and understand the prophets, who will come from the same loins and the same lineage of the prophets. These are the individuals who the book is, when I'm saying the book, the Holy Scriptures is referring to from Genesis to Revelation. This is a love letter from Yahawah given unto his people. This right here, this belongs to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native and Seminole Indians, and the speckled bird, who may look, the Israelite foreigners, who may look like the other nations, who may look like a so-called Chinese man, which is a Moabite, or an Ammonite, or Japan, or you might look like an Arab, you may look like an Edomite, but you have the spirit, Romans 8. Our spirit bear witness with those are individuals, who they might be, that their spirit bear witness, all right, that they are of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob was a man. Then his name got changed from Yaquab to Yasha'Allah, which means Prince of Power. He's the Prince of Power. All right. It was a man, and then which became a people. Which came from this man was a stemming of a people. All right, that was destined from the foundations of the earth to receive salvation, to come back in the good graces of Yahawah through the sacrifice of Yahawashi. That's what his sacrifice was about. How can it be a kingdom? And the Lord can use anyone. He could raise up rocks, like he said. But the Lord, what he did was he bound his name unto us as a people. So how can it be a kingdom? What a nation say? Because the people try to act as if Israel is done away with. All right. Well, how can it be a kingdom for you? All right. Who thinks like this? If there's no Israel. Okay. But then they say, well, no, we're not saying Israel is done away with. All right. Well, you are, because you're saying that because you're saying the Gentiles can be, which are the heathen nations, all right, the natural born Gentiles, I should say, can also receive salvation. All right, in terms of how Israel is going to receive it. All right, you're saying that that's the case because Israel is done away with, so therefore it allows other nations to come into the fold. But that's far from the truth. All right, that's far from the truth because, all right, let's get these real quick. Let's start here. I'm gonna get this. It just popped in my mind. Let me get this. Malachi 3:6. For I am Yahawah. You see that all caps? I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So therefore, the Lord, he attached his name unto us. I and Yahweh said in St. John 17, I and you and me. You and me and I and you. That's what he said. All All right, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, which means that we are one. I pray that they are one. In the prayer, Yahushua was praying. He said, Father, I pray that you don't take them out of the world, but that they endure the perils to come, and you make them one as we are one. Okay, we're joint heirs with Yahushua. You think a heathen is gonna be joint heirs with Yahushua, man? No. Why would they be joint heirs with Yahushua when they never was given the ways of Yahushua from the foundation of the earth, even into the manifestation of the world? They was never given the ways of the Lord, like in terms of secret counsels. What I mean by secret counsels is those moments where you know how we are, bro. The Lord visits us in our private place. These nations don't get visited by Yahawah in their private place. Yeah, the Lord come unto them in visions and dreams, like depending on what need to be done. Okay, I guess that is a private place, but you understand what I'm saying in terms of the blessings. Okay, because Yahushua said he set us on the high places. These nations, they got the high places through rape, rob, and murder and deceit. Okay, but ultimately because we fell as a people, that's how they got the high places. But we were blessed with the high places. Okay, we were blessed with the high places. We didn't have to rape, rob, and murder to get them, just to be called in kings, and it's already ours. So therefore, it says he said he changed not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So therefore, we will remain. If Israel remains, that means the order still remains. That means Yahawah word is true. That means he's true because he remains. He attached his name unto us, and therefore we remain, which means the setup will remain. Their setup continues through what? The lawyer, the one who's fought our case. All right. And we won. And the judge has granted mercy unto us, man. Okay. Yes, we had to do the time because we did the crime, but the judge, being Yahawah, all right, has he has given us mercy. All right. And he's reduced our sentence. That's why he's speeding up the time. Therefore, no flesh will be saved, which means he ultimately what? Reduced our sentence that we had to serve. And he's going to come save us. He's going to come pick us up because we're soon to be released as a people. When you go here, so just to prove, let's go to additions to Esther. Additions to Esther. I just want to make this quick. Additions to Esther 10. Let's start at let's start at the top. Then market how you say this, man? Mar Shalakia, bro. There's sometimes this older English is let's see, Mardoshius. Then Mardoshius said, "The Most High have done these things." Obviously it's a continuation. All right. It says, "For I remember," verse 5. And this is to Esther, chapter 10, verse 5. "For I remember a dream which I saw concerning these matters, and nothing thereof hath failed." See, the things in this dream, it hasn't failed. It's true. 6. "A little fountain became a river, and there was light in the sun and much water." This river is Esther, which let me just keep reading. It says, "This river is Esther, who the king married and made queen," right? "And the two dragons are I and Aman. And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews," meaning the reputation. And what's the reputation of the Jews? The reputation of the Jews is keeping the law, statutes, commandments, which means they were the people who were operating in order. They were supposed to be. We were, as a people, we were supposed to be an example of what order looks like. People were to follow. But Israel's not in order. The rest of the world is not in order. So their job was to destroy the Jews, destroy the ones with order, with the light. Okay. So that's what the nation's jobs were. They when you go to what's that wisdom? Let me see. First Maccabees 3. First Maccabees 3:52. It says, "And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us. What things they imagine against us, thou knowest." Right. And then, matter of fact, let me just go to this previous chapter, First Maccabees 2:10. It says, "What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and have gotten of her spoils?" So all nations have took a part in our downfall. So Psalms 83, the nations were confederate against us. So the nations that were assembled to destroy us were all the people outside of us, the ones that are profane outside of the temple. It says to destroy the name of the Jews, mainly Esau, Edom, and his chief tribes and so forth. All right, he's the main corporate. Okay, don't forget that. Verse 9, and my nation is this Israel. So it's saying my nation is Yasha'Allah, which cried to the Most High and were saved. What do the nations have to be saved from? Now that the curses is slowly going on them, and and the world is going to shits because we're about to be delivered. But before that, that's why you think Trump can make a statement like, "Let's make America great again," because y'all niggas was on top. Okay, we was never on top in this society, man. You know what I'm saying? Black Wall Street don't count. These different things and these different endeavors don't count. You could tell the state of a nation by its women. You could tell the state of a nation by its economy, by the economy, and ultimately by what? It's the people that's supposed to uphold it. Look at the people, man. Were we ever whole as a people in Babylon the Great? Like, were we as a nation, were we ever at our best? No, man. We've always been in captivity since we've been over here. It says, and cried to the Most High and were saved, for the Lord have saved his people, and the Lord have delivered us from all those evils, and the Most High have wrought signs and great wonders which have not been done among the Gentiles. So, right, this is very important to understand. Hold on, bear with me. Let me grab my charger real quick. It's very important. Yeah, man, this is very important to understand because it says I'm gonna bring this back. Hold on, bear with me. Let me get a couple more and we close out. Because who is this book written for, man? This book is written for Israel, Israelites. All right, with the heathen state of mind. All right, if we got captured by the heathen, that's why Jeremiah say, what? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Meaning, why is Israel always in captivity? Because, nigga, Israel is stiff-necked and stiff-hearted. All right, which means that ultimately the Lord kept us this way so that his will like it could ultimately be fulfilled, as the scriptures say. But, let me read this back. Additions to Esther 10 and 9, and my nation is this Israel, which cried to the Most High and was saved. For the Lord have saved his people, and YAHAWASHI have delivered us from all those evils. The Most High brought signs and great wonders, which have not been done among the Gentiles. Therefore, he have what? Made two lots, one for the people of the Most High, and another for all the Gentiles. And these two lots came at the hour and time and day of judgment before the Most High among all nations. You see? And what's the outcome? The Most High remember his people and justify his inheritance. So the Lord he remembered us because of the sacrifice of Yahawashi. He remembered us. He remembered the covenants. He remembered how he attached his name to us. See what I'm saying? And most importantly, he remembered, well, one of the things of importance is that he remembered the men that came before us, which are the pillars to his kingdom that he have set up to be connected to that foundation, that sure cornerstone of Yahawashi being our foundation. The elect of Israel are very important to the house of David, to the house of Yahawashi, man. They're very important. They uphold the different levels, as I went into before, and different brothers. They uphold the levels to the house. which is the rest of the house of Israel. Okay, they make up the kingdom of Yahawah, YAHAWASHI. So what do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, the nations is going to be, they're not going to be dwelling amongst the capital of the world, which is Jerusalem, Jerusalem. These nations are going to have their own lands and different plots and stuff like that, lots and different stuff. All right, they're going to be in the kingdom, but not in the kingdom. If that makes sense, they're not going to be amongst Israel. See what I'm saying? They're going to have their own situation that we're going to allow them to set up, and we're going to bring the ancient ways back and how it's supposed to be. How, we're not supposed to be stacked up on top of each other. All right. This is Esau, man, running this. Why you think man? Anyways, let me go now. Let me go to Second Esdras, because remember it said here. It says it have not been. It says and the Most High have wrought signs and great wonders which have not been done amongst the Gentiles. So the Lord don't deal with the Gentiles, man. Okay, that's the point. Yahawashi Shah is not dealing with the Gentiles. He's not sending a Elamite prophet, man. All right, he's not sending these prophets. The only prophets that exist, even into today's world. So, all right, if you're not an Israelite, all right, like you got the Ricky Gants, you got the Vocab Malones, you got the James, what's his name, James White, I believe, or Dr. Browns, and these different people. If they're not Israel, man, even if they are Israel, man, you know what I'm saying? It's about the elect. The prophets are the elect, man. You know what I mean? So when you go to Second Esdras, chapter 1, it says, let me jump down to the point in 27. It says, "Ye have not as it were forsaken me, but your own selves," said the Lord. Thus said the Almighty Yahweh, "I have not prayed you as a father his sons, as a mother her daughters, and a nurse her young babes, that you will be my people, and I should be your power, that ye will be my children, and I should be your father. I gathered you together as a hen gathered her chickens under her wings." Right, like when usually like one of the elders made a good point before years ago, that when you think, like when you read this verse right here, it says, "I gather you together as a hen gather her chickens under her wings." A chicken, all right, it runs when it's in danger, or when you approach it, it moves and runs and makes sounds, right? But then when they have, like, their cub, when they have their hens, you know what I'm saying, and you walk up to them, the nest, if you will, their dwelling, they're gonna peck the shit out of you, and you're gonna look around, like, where all the hens go. The hens are gonna be under the wings of the chicken, and that's how Yahawah Basham Yahushua has gathered us. He's gathered us under his wings, and he's plucking at anyone coming towards us. He's protecting us, all right, to the point you can't see us, And it says, "But now what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face. When you offer unto me, I will turn my face from you." That's like the chicken just letting her wing up, or his wing up, and the hens just flying from under him, all right, and going up into that danger and being consumed. That's kind of what Yahweh Basham Yahushai did to a degree, all right, to a degree, because he's still, like elders always mention, man, even though we in this effed up state as a people, Israel still blessed, man. Israel still be getting stuff and achieving stuff, and man, the Lord is so merciful, man. He's long suffering, even in the midst of all this nonsense. He's still a blessed Jake, man. This is 30. "I gathered you together." That's why the scriptures tell you, when Ezra was requiring of Israel, he said, "Do you love the people more than me?" But man, look, man, the Lord knows exactly what he's doing. Yahweh Basham Yahushua knows exactly what he's doing. I said, "I gather you together as a hen gather her chickens under her wings, But now what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face. 31. When you offer unto me, I will turn my face from you. For your solemn feast days, your new moons, and your circumcisions have I forsaken. I sent you, I sent unto you my servants, the prophets. You see, these are the servants of the Lord, the prophets, and they are all of Israel. Which means this book, the message is to Israel. This is not to nobody else. The prophet's job was to go to the lost sheep. All right, tell you in Jeremiah, my people have been lost sheep, and it's the same thing Yahawashi said in Matthew 10. My people have lost sheep. Go into the house, go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right, don't go into the way of the Samaritans. Well, aren't those heathens? Aren't those other people? Okay. Well, why would he say don't go to them and teach the gospel? And also, it talks about Idumea not ever receiving repentance, or being consumed and eventually cast out for after 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's two people right there. That's two nations right there. So that means with the way you teach in terms of saying the nation can receive salvation and they can receive the same promises, that's against the scriptures. Israel have to teach you the ways of the Lord. You're not going to teach Israel. Israel not going nowhere. In fact, we're going to multiply even more. And we're more in number than the nations. How are you going to teach us our ways? It doesn't work like that. We're going to teach you, Isaiah 2. We're going to teach the nations the ways of Yahawah, YAHAWASHI. We're going to bring order into the world. Don't you see? There's no order in the world. Every nation tell you time and chance happening to them all in Daniel. And it also tell you throughout the scriptures that all the nations, it shows you their rulerships. Every nation had a chance to rule, man. And what look at it. Here we are, 2023, and look at the world. No nation can get the world back in order but Israel. Because why? It's Israel, prince of power, prince with the power, is operating under the tutelage, operating under the and work for the king of the universe. They operate under Yahawah Yahawashi. They come in his name. They're the only ones that's going to be able to set up order in this earth. Why are you so mad at that? You're still going to be, I'm not going to say blessed, but you're still going to be prosperous to some degree because the world's going to be in order. So why are you mad? The scriptures tell you in Proverbs 29:2 that when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, but when the righteous is in authority, the people rejoice. So why are you mad at the fact that we're telling you where this is our heritage, this book belongs to us, and we're trying to get back in order? Because nigga, the rest of the world benefit. So why are you mad at that? That's bugged out. It says 31, 2 Corinthians 2 and 31. 31. When you offer unto me, I will turn my face from you. Your solemn feast days, your new moon, your circumcisions have I forsaken. I sent unto you my servant, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Lord. Thus said the Almighty Power, Yahabashim Shah, your house is desolate. I will cast you out as the wind do a stubble, right? Because you killed the prophets. You're going to kill us again. You know, you're going to give us up to the authorities. You gave Yahawashi up, man. You know, it says 34, and your children shall not be fruitful, for they have despised my commandment and done the things that is evil before me. Your houses will I give to a people that shall come, which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me, to whom I have shown no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them. So here you have it. So remember, I read Additions to Esther 10. You will read that and say, well, this is a contradiction. No, it's not contradiction. It was said the Gentiles haven't received signs from the Lord. Okay? He don't work with the Gentiles or the nations how he works with Israel. All right? That intimacy is different. All right? So it says, to whom I have shown no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them. This is talking about Israelites that were going to be in a Gentile state of mind. Foreigners like we once were. All right, even to this day. Okay, these prophecies that we're reading right now in verse 35 took place during Paul's time. Okay, even up until this very day, man. You see what I'm saying? So this is talking about Israelite foreigners. All right, and the Lord have set up what? The prophets, which are men of Israel, to go unto these Israelite foreigners, man. The ones who have completely lost their way. And we ultimately had this all ultimately had to happen to us as a people, as a nation, so that all can be fulfilled, man. The judgment of Esau is based off uh, Israel's ignorance. You see, the Lord kept YAHWAH kept our nation in this low degree or this low state just to judge Esau and to correct us, to make us judges, the elect, to perfect judgment. All right, and like YAHWAH, he received his glory. He came and fulfilled all that was written of him. He said, "It is done. It is finished," and he gave up the spirit, the ghost. He went back into the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? So the point is that let me just keep reading. 2 Ezra 2:36. They have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. The nations, what are they remembering? They never had nothing to remember. The Lord never came to them and gave them the law, statutes, and commandments and said, "Walk thee in." They're in. So wow, what are they remembering? There's nothing to remember. See what I'm saying? It says, "Yet they shall call their sins to remembrance." We see the nation of Israel is remembering our ways. This is Baruch 2. Anybody get ready to wrap up? I don't know how long I was going. This is Baruch 2. And it's like, all right, this is Baruch 2:30. This is it says, "For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivity they should remember themselves and shall know that I am Yahawah, their powerful. I give them heart and ears to hear it, and shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name and return from their stiff necks and from their wicked deeds, for they should remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them." Has this happened yet? No, it hasn't, because we would be, say we weren't Israel, we would have to go, we would have to have Israel would be set up, the government would be set up, and we would have to attend to Israel. How the Lord gonna do it every day? However the Lord gonna set the kingdom up. Do that happen today? The small hats, do the world follow after the small hats? Do they teach us the ways of the Lord? Come on, man. Come on, man. So you know that 2 Ezra 2 is not talking about Israel, because this right here says he's going to give what? He's going to bring them again. Which he what? In the land which he promised. Malachi 3:6. I started off with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Also, when you go to Revelations 2, it says what? This is Revelations 2:5. "Remember, therefore, from whence thou art fallen." You see, we fail, man. We fail as a people. Remember, therefore, once thou art fallen, and repent and do the first works. Esau can't repent, right? So how can all nations receive salvation? If Esau sought it carefully with tears, there's no repenting for Israel. Let's say there's no repenting for Esau. Okay, he is the man of sin. He had his identification. All right, displays iniquity. It displays uncleanliness. Even though he's a clean leopard, we can dwell on. We can deal with them and dwell amongst them. But he's profane. Okay, it's talked about. I think that's Hebrews. Profane as Esau, who sold his birthright for one morsel of meat, roughly paraphrasing. He's outside of the temple. He's unclean. He's unholy. So remember, therefore, from whence thou art fallen, and repent and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly and remove thy candlestick out of the place, except thou repent. Right? It's talking about Israel. So going back, so we close out the second Ezra 1. Second Ezra 1. Jumping back down to the point. 36. They have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. This is faith. The nations don't have faith. You know, they're carnal. They have to see tangible. They have to see things in the physical. Okay, and they taught our people those ways. Because remember, Yahawashi was talking to the wicked scribes and Pharisees about they look for signs and they look for the things that they can see on the physical. Those are the ways of the heathens. Because matter of fact, when you go to the next chapter in Second Ezra 2, Second Ezra chapter 2, it talk about ye heathen. It called the scriptures call Israel heathens. All right, showing you again that the following chapter is a continuation of this chapter. Okay, because it's giving you the context of what happened. He pushed us away, hit his power, meaning hit his face. All right, for a period of time, and then we came back again. Okay, it's talking about because Second Ezra 2 talking about Israel, Jerusalem being a widow, or her children has left her, but the Lord is going to bring her back, bring the children back to the land. It also talks about that in Baruch 2 as well. But continue on. I think it's in Baruch 4 and Baruch 2, one of those chapters. It says they have seen no prophets, right? So so it's about the faith. Okay, it's about the faith. It says, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say. You see that? It's about the faith. These nations don't have that. You only ones who you see pushing faith is Israel, man. Like real faith, man. You see? Real faith. These guys that pretend, these Christolites, you know what I'm saying, and these different so-called evangelists, these, like I mentioned earlier, these Ricky Gans, these Vocab Malones. I hate to even mention their names because they get a high off that, man. They don't know the Lord. They don't know YAHWASHI. So therefore they're faithless. They don't have faith that when we call them name YAHWASHI, that's their names. They don't believe that. They don't have faith. See what I'm saying? They don't have faith that we are the prophets. How we go into the books, the very fact that they try to come up to us and try to so-called debunk us shows you that and it's in a massive rate, Israel all over the world at a massive rate. You think this is by coincidence? See, they're faithless. They don't understand it. They think Christianity, modern form of Christianity, is the way. The hey bud, you know, that spirit, the Joel Osteen spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's far from the case. These Christians just now started to grow their beards, man. You know, they're trying to, you know, like Apostle Tara said, we're making them go into the scriptures. Not us, but the spirit that's on us. You know, but that's all still fulfilling prophecy. It says, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say. Right? It's about the faith, and only a certain men are going to have this faith. Those are the elect. Who's going to receive salvation? Who's going to be saved in these last days? Israel, the elect. Talk about it. It has whole chapters on this, man. It's whole chapters on this. One in particular is Revelation 7. It's whole chapters on who the Lord is coming back for, man. It says, and now, brother, behold, what glory, and see the people that coming from the east. Everything comes from the east. And who's the people that come from the east? Who? It says, unto whom, verse 39, 2 2 and 2 1 and 39, unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Hosea, Amos, and these are the prophets. What is a prophet? Pro means before, Fasai means to say. These are the men that were speaking about things that were going to happen in the near future, or the future, or the near future. All right. And they were telling things that were going to happen. And then the Lord was going to have the same spirits come back to give the explanation and break it down of what was actually being said and what was being talked about. They were gonna explain these things later down the line. The visions. That's what happens. Don't that happens when you wake out of sleep? You go to sleep, you have a dream, and then you wake up and then you tell it to somebody. Right? That's what the prophet, that's what happens. You have to break it down. Because the dream was given to you. You have to break it down. So that's the prophets. The ones that's breaking the scripture down are the prophets. The spirit of the prophet is 1 Corinthians 14. The spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophets, man. See? So what happened to us? We woke out of dark sleep. We woke out of sleep. We woke up. We had a dream, all right, or a vision that was given unto us, all right, which is the spirit, all right. As we read this the book, and we come back into our remembrance and we repent and so forth, the spirit revealed the secrets unto us. And now we're breaking the same information down that was given thousands of years ago. Now we're able to fully break them down because we're at the time of salvation. Now it's time for that part of prophecy to be fulfilled. The destruction of wickedness for the Israelite man, woman, and child's mind, all right, and the one who upholds that vibration, for him to be put out the way, and for righteousness to be established on the earth and to reign supreme. That's where we're at in prophecy right now. We're getting the Lord YAHWASHI is getting ready to fulfill that. It says, and now, brother, behold, what glory, and see the people that coming from the east, because again, the said measures are not fulfilled. 2 Esdras 4. The Lord do not stir them until they are fulfilled, man. Till the said measures be fulfilled. All right, but this is continuing. It says in verse 39, it says, unto whom I will give for leaders. Right, these are the leaders. Okay, these are the leaders. Okay, Abraham. Right, these are the prophets. Abraham. It says Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Oseas, which is this is Greek way to say Hosea. Amos. All right. Micah. All right. Joel, Obadiah, Jonah. It said Jonas, but Jonah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, which is what? Which is called also an angel of the Lord. The messengers. The messengers are Israelites. Messengers are Israelites. Who are the apostles? They were messengers, and they were what? Israelites. Paul, he's often stated that I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. All right? I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. Yahawashi was a what? A prophet. Moses was a prophet. Okay? Because they didn't mention him in that part. But Moses was a prophet. It talked about that in the scriptures. Also, who else was a prophet? Noah. All our leaders in Israel were prophets, man. Because this is who the Lord dealing with. He's dealing with Israel. Let's get like two more, bro. This is Amos. Because I don't know how long I want it. This is Amos 3. And let's go straight to the point. It says, Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord YAHWASHI will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. All right. All the prophets were men of Israel. Okay. We don't have Edomite prophets or pastors. Okay. You don't have Edomite shepherds. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, you gotta make it make sense. This is Amos 2. Let's go to the chapter before. Amos 2:11. And I raised up It says, and I raised up your, it's like it, and I raised up of your sons for prophets. See, it's talking about, let's start at 10. It says, it's Amos 2 and 10. Also I brought you up from the land of Egypt. Who did he bring from Egypt? The Israelites, and led you forward, and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorites. Right. You also had the mixed multitude in there, which was convincing Israel to conform to the ways of Egypt, which is why the Lord had to do away with them, man. You see what I'm saying? Showing you that the nations are not fit to rule. They're not fit to be judges. They persuade Israel mind, all right, with phylacteries and, dainties and goods and gifts and witchcraft and sorcery. It says, also I brought you up from the land of Egypt and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorite. And I raised up of your sons for prophets. This is talking about Israelites. And of your young men for Nazarites. Is it not even thus, O you children of Israel, said the Lord? See, there you go. So the prophets, the Lord has risen up prophets of Israel, Israelites. All right, the prophets come from Israel, man. He raised up our sons, all right, to tell the world the good, the bad, the ugly. This is St. John. We close with this. St. John 17:6. It says, I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. It says, thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I am come from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. You see, and this is the man. He said, I manifested thy name unto the men which thou given me. This have given me. This is the manifestation of his essence, his character, his image, or his reputation. That these certain men, Lord willing, I'm a part of that number, that hopeful elect, the prophets are obtaining. The 2 Ezra 2, these are the ones that stood so boldly and stiffly for the name of the Lord. All right, to condemn the world and right in the middle, in the belly of the beast, in the gates of the nobles. All right, shaking the hand and pointing the finger. All right, exposing this devil. All right, for what he is and who he is. All right, and he's getting angrier and angrier because he spent trillions of dollars for us not to receive this information, and he spent thousands of hundreds of years to get to this point where we are now in 2023. You see, so of course he's going to be mad because he still can't get us. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. The prophets, all the prophets are men of Israel, man. All right, they come from Israel, and they are only for Israel, to teach Israel, to save Israel. We talked about that in Obadiah. I guess we close with that. This is Obadiah 1 and 21. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. So there you have it, man. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I would like to give all honor, glory, and praise and worship to again YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH, the Master Apostle, Elders, the Great and Great Millstone, we will teach from sound doctrine. The strong shalom to the hopeful elect. And on the rest of the large multitude of men and children, that the Lord have mercy on these last days. Amen. Keep hope. We almost out of here, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Walk up a ball, a Bible ball. Lord willing, edifying. Shalom.